I know the IRS, as I've been mentioning here on this show many times, that the IRS is using it as one of the boogeymen to get reason why they need more money because people are stealing via crypto. I don't think that's the case anymore. And of course, they're coming up with laws in Congress to stop this. And as we were talking about those rules and the bill in Congress, which defines what a crypto broker is very broad and might put a damper on the growth of crypto. And nobody seemed to care. Well, they do care now, and they're reevaluating it in just a couple of weeks. So that's the first story we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how Congress is making a difference, and it's a again it makes a they've changed totally about how several weeks ago how everybody just whatever a broker is what we say it is, and nobody seems to care. Who cares what the definition is? And there's been a lot of constituency calling. So this is the first story. Tax reporting proposal creates a defining moment for the crypto industry. A small section of the $1 trillion infrastructure bill that would place new tax reporting requirements on the cryptocurrency industry has generated a wave of lobbying. Calls from the constituents supporting the industry have grabbed lawmakers' attention, and the crypto industry and allies hope to still change the law before it takes effect. Again, a couple of weeks ago, they passed it through the Senate. They tried to change it. They tried to hold up the bill. There was some senators trying to hold up the bill to change the definition of that broker, and they couldn't do it. And nobody seemed to go along with them. But now it's in the House, and it's passing in the House, and now they want to go back to the Senate and change it again, and because it hasn't passed yet, it's not official yet. So let's read a little bit of this story. A small section of the $1 trillion infrastructure bill has generated a flurry of lobbying from the cryptocurrency industry, creating a defining moment for the sector's presence in Washington. Again, it's big, right? If the more power they have, the bigger the value, the more people are involved, the more power they'll have in Washington to script what it comes out in these bills. Though industry players failed to change what they see as a problematic language in the new tax reporting requirements for cryptocurrency brokers in the Senate version of the bill, they remain hopeful that the House lawmakers can take steps to answer their concerns. That optimism is fueled in part by the outpouring of support the industry has seen from citizens who called their senators' offices, urging them to change the language. Industry proponents say the definition of a broker in the Senate version of the bill is too broad and would require software developers who don't have the customer information needed to comply with the law to report such data for tax purposes. Again, this is all about the IRS targeting these exchanges and anybody with cryptocurrency to make sure they can't trade without paying their fair share, whatever that means. Because of the decentralized nature of cryptocurrency, these types of workers couldn't access such customer info even if they wanted to. That means some businesses would have to operate in a gray area or take their work outside the U.S. While the Treasury Department could still define the term more narrowly, some fear that leaves too much up to chance from one administration to the next. Industry advocates say that support appropriate taxation and want tax reporting guidance, but they also say that the current language misses the mark. Though the provision of the has been unwelcome wake-up call for the industry, it has also crystallized its influence in Congress. Digital rights organization Fight for the Future said it saw more than 40,000 calls to Congress ahead of the Senate infrastructure vote. Even though this language has been negative for the industry, and this is important, I think is an important paragraph here, it's been a positive in that it really has brought everyone together and shown that crypto knows how to apply some level of influence in Washington. I think it's the first time that lawmakers have taken crypto seriously on a broad scale, so we're able to have a different level of conversation than we've been able to have in the past because they know that so many of their constituents care. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit so people can see it a little bit. So, Evan Greer, director of the Fight for Future, called the influx of messages to the Senate the biggest outpouring of grassroots energy that I have seen in my entire career as a digital rights activist, other than net neutrality and the SOPA strike, referring to the protest of the Stop Online Piracy Act of 2011. And lawmakers took notice. I was getting notes from Senate offices just like, what is all this about? We're flooded with phone calls. Now in the House, bipartisan leaders of the blockchain caucus. Did you know there was a blockchain caucus? I did not know that there was a blockchain caucus. But it's obviously it's important to have that. It's the cutting edge of technology, and we better understand it and get our laws right. Said in an interview he would introduce two bills echoing the proposed amendment in the Senate that aimed to alter the broker definition. Those amendments didn't get a vote in the Senate, and since there will likely not be a chance for the amendments in the House, he hopes that the pass the bills through the reconciliation process. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has said she wants the chamber to vote on the infrastructure bill by September 27th. Compared with the Senate, the House has the benefit of a robust, long-standing blockchain caucus that is established in the chamber and has about 30 members. Some blockchain players have stepped up lobbying spending in recent quarters through disclosure from the most recent quarter that would include the infrastructure vote period are not yet available. But second quarter disclosures show the Blockchain Association increased its spending from the previous quarter by 23% to $160,000. The Chamber of Digital Commerce, which represents a mix of tech and finance companies, ramped up its lobbying spend by more than 100% from the first to second quarter, spending $62,000 in quarter two. He said that the sheer amount of attention the cryptocurrency provision has generated in Congress shows how far the industry has come. And again, I'm echoing that. It's amazing in just this short time how much mainstream it has become. It shows from the market point of view, it's arrived. Now you have senators and powerful House members grappling over how to best do the provision. It's not an afterthought anymore. It's not an obscure technology. It's one of the main debates right now as we draft our infrastructure proposals. For a long time, this technology and this community has just dismissed as like a hobbyist industry or crypto, just a speculative asset. There's no real use case. And I think that has changed. And I think more people are starting to understand how important this technology is going to be for the future of our economy. And they're taking some serious, taking it more seriously. Again, this is the halls of Congress where really it's going to have power to change the rules, right? They're trying to change the rules that to affect the taxes, but they see that this is going to have a negative impact on the industry. And the industry is growing so fast and so many are associated with it that they're not going to be able to do it in the dark anymore and just kind of do whatever they feel like, they being the senators and the congressmen. They're going to have to take notice, and people are noticing what they're doing. And again, that's an important thing. So